My name is Alan Roberts. Thank you for tuning in. Please do share this video as well as all my other videos. I appreciate it very much. When you're done with that, check out the links in the pinned comment below, description box below, or the bio up above for the links to our coaching. That's where my wife and I talk to people via our app on a daily basis with weekly video conference calls. We help people change their lifestyles bit by bit by bit to healthier versions. Please do check that out. You can also get signed up to get notified when our non-stimulant, non-thermogenic-based appetite suppressant No Morbidity comes back for sale at ambrosiacollective.com or at tigerfitness.com. We cannot keep it on the shelves right now. It is a combination of 4 patented ingredients at their clinically tested human doses, and thousands of people are using this right now to diminish their hunger, help control their stress levels, and get to a healthier lifestyle. We are very pleased. The reviews and the testimonials have been unbelievably outstanding. We are very proud of it. So you can get notified when it comes back for sale here within hopefully the next 2 weeks. So please do check that out. Today I wanted to talk about the trouble we're in society as the new health secretary for Great Britain has been named, and she is indeed fat as fuck, and in a viral photo online is being depicted drinking and smoking. Now, I'm not saying she drinks and smokes all the time. I am saying that she has obviously made some very clear negative health choices when it comes to herself, because she is indeed fat as fuck. I'm not saying she's not trying to lose weight, and I'm not saying she's not qualified to speak on health. She could have a lot of knowledge that she just can't apply to herself. What I am saying is that my biggest worry is the fact that she's just going to be just like all the other public health officials, it seems like nowadays, that she is just going to be an extension of the healthcare and pharmaceutical industries. And healthcare and pharmaceutical industries that we have both in Britain and in America are not about health. They are about sickness. We take care of people's sickness. We don't actually watch out for people's health. We don't do preventative health care in either of these countries, when I do find it a little odd that preventative health care would avoid a huge amount of the burden, both resource-wise and shared health care cost-wise in both of these countries. In America, we have a shared health care expenditure of about $4.1 trillion, and about $2.77 trillion of that is avoidable, lifestyle-driven, chronic illness-related, not to mention about 1.6 million deaths that could possibly be avoided if we did something about avoidable, lifestyle, chronic-driven illnesses, such as the 90% of type 2 diabetes, the 80% of cardiovascular disease, the 70% of all strokes, the 77% of all cases of cancer, which are indeed lifestyle-driven chronic illnesses. And Great Britain has very similar statistics, but we don't seem to actually have our public health officials looking out for a preventative model. We don't have them talking about how we should control our weight and get to healthier weights, avoid drinking and avoid smoking as much as possible, because those things do lead to chronic lifestyle-driven illnesses that do, in fact, make up the vast majority of burden resource-wise also on the healthcare system, even though we just came out of 2.5 years of worrying about both these healthcare systems collapsing due to a new cold virus, when over 50 to 60% of each of the healthcare systems, the NHS and our American healthcare system, was already burdened by chronic lifestyle-driven illnesses in resource usage, bed usage, manpower usage, and equipment. We don't seem to be trying to lower those numbers, and that's what worries me, is that this person, just like all other pretty much public health officials, is going to be just more the same, where they're much more worried about helping out the pharmaceutical and healthcare industry make money versus having people actually be healthy. And I think that that's where we need to have a very serious shift in our thought process as people in both of these countries and just pretty much all around the world. We need to realize that pharmaceutical and surgical interventions, while sometimes absolutely necessary, should be a last resort, not the first thing you go to. We should try to do our very best to be healthy, especially in countries that have shared healthcare resources and healthcare costs, such as America and as the NHS, which the NHS is completely taxpayer-driven, but the largest payer of healthcare expenditures in America is the taxpayer. It is through Medicare and Medicaid. So we do have a very similar system here. It is just not looked at that way. It's looked at as private pay, when it's actually not, when a lot of the times it is indeed the taxpayers that pay for the bill. I find it amazing that there's many arguments for healthcare for all, but instead of the whole conversation being had where if we have healthcare for all, then everybody needs to be responsible to try to be as healthy as humanly possible on their own, so they are not disproportionately using up resources and expenditure needlessly through their own poor lifestyle habits. If we are going to indeed have healthcare for all, we would need to have the very serious responsibility put on every single person in each of these countries that you should try to be as healthy as humanly possible too. Therefore, you are not, in fact, disproportionately burdening the rest of the herd. We don't have that portion of the conversation. We just have healthcare for all. It's a human right. I would, like to just point out that if we want to even have that conversation, people are going to have to try to be as healthy as they can on their own first, as to not burden the entire system. Healthcare for all worries me at this stage, because if we were to actually just have it, there's no incentive for people to be healthy, and there's very little incentive for people to be healthy right now. And if you just kind of look around, we are not healthy as a people whatsoever. The obesity rates are skyrocketing. The last time we took obesity rates was in 2018 was the last numbers. That's 42.5%, and just by normal raise, we'd be close to 50% right now, and that's not even including the great fattening of 2020, in which case most people sat in, we closed gyms, we closed parks, kids got fatter, everybody ordered DoorDash, and we did nothing but stress for 2 years. So we've gotten much fatter and less healthy. Much. Not to mention the other things that have happened. So my biggest worry about this new Secretary of Health for Great Britain is it's just more of the same, because her appearance is actually relatively unimportant. The fact that healthcare is not actually about health. It's about the treating of sickness and the profiteering of it. That's the actual problem, people. Get there faster. God damn.